Hello everyone and welcome to Sketch Review, the series where I review movies and shows but in a fun, unique, and artistic way. With the third movie in the franchise, it was time to switch things up a bit, and I definitely think this was a positive step in the right direction. The movie I'm going to be talking about today is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, released on June 4th, 2004, directed by Alfonso Cuarón, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, Gary Oldman, David Thewlis, Robbie Coltrane, Maggie Smith, Michael Gambon, Alan Rickman, Emma Thompson, Timothy Spall, and many others. Let's see how things have changed with this third installment in the Harry Potter franchise. It's the summer after his second year at Hogwarts, and once again Harry must endure another grueling period with the Dursleys. When Vernon's sister Marge arrives for a visit, she ends up insulting Harry's deceased parents, causing Harry to accidentally do some magic, causing her to inflate and fly away. With this scene, you can immediately tell the movie has a more realistic feel than the others, with its cinematography and the more angsty vibe of its characters. As a result of his accidental magic, Harry decides that he's had enough and leaves, running into a creepy black dog on the road. A magical vehicle called the Night Bus randomly arrives and takes him to the Leaky Cauldron, where the Minister of Magic Cornelius Fudge also happens to be, and tells Harry that he won't be expelled for using magic outside of school. Because he's the chosen one, I guess? I don't know. At the Cauldron, Harry also meets back up with Ron and Hermione, who has a new pet cat named Crookshanks that is not a big fan of Ron's pet rat, Scabbers. Harry also learns from Ron's dad, Arthur, that dangerous criminal Sirius Black has escaped Azkaban prison and will be looking for Harry, and that Harry can't go after him, which confuses him because why would he want to go looking for someone that wants to kill him? While on the train to Hogwarts, the trio end up sharing a compartment with some random sleeping dude, but the train ends up stopping, and ice begins to form around. And suddenly, these creepy ghost-looking things called Dementors arrive, with one trying to suck Harry's soul. The sleeping dude reveals himself to be the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher Remus Lupin, who expels the monster with the Patronus Charm spell. At Hogwarts, Dumbledore warns the students that the Dementors will now be guarding the school since the dangerous criminal Sirius Black has escaped Azkaban. In fact, the only one who's ever escaped Azkaban, apparently. As if Hogwarts couldn't get any more dangerous, they now have soul-sucking demon ghost things roaming around. It's almost comical at this point, but, it's also kind of creepy in a good way. The trio start a new class, Divination, and Ron begins to notice that Hermione seemingly appears in all these classes out of the blue and can't understand how she's taking so many classes at once. Anyways, the professor has them doing cup readings or whatever it is, in which Harry receives the image of a dog, also known as the Grim, a sign of death, which is not good. In Lupin's class, they start to learn how to fight off these shape-shifting monster things that change into their fears. When it's Harry's turn, the monster turns into a Dementor, prompting Lupin to step in and protect Harry, where the monster then changes into the shape of a full moon. Clearly, something bigger is going on here. As it would turn out, Hagrid has also been promoted, teaching students about how to handle magical creatures. Things go wrong, though, when Draco tries to mess with a hippogriff, or a large bird named Buckbeak, resulting in him being injured. His father successfully orders the execution of Buckbeak, which is pretty sad. When the third-year students, including Ron and Hermione, head off to Hogsmeade for some time off, Harry sadly has to stay behind since the Dursleys never signed his permission slip. Harry then spends some time with Lupin, learning that he was actually good friends with his parents before their deaths. When the students come back from Hogsmeade, they and Dumbledore learn that Sirius Black has somehow entered the castle, in which Harry overhears that he may be in danger. At their next Defense Against the Dark Arts class, they find Snape teaching in Lupin's place, shifting their focus over to werewolves and animagi, or shapeshifters. If you couldn't tell, this is foreshadowing. Sometime later, during a Quidditch match, Harry is attacked for the third year in a row now, this time by Dementors, which, who would have guessed that would have happened, causing his broom to be destroyed. As a result of yet another Dementor encounter, Lupin decides to tutor Harry on the Expecto Patronum spell, which is powered by a strong emotional memory, in case he has to fight them again. Annoyed that he can't go to Hogsmeade, Harry tries to sneak in, but is stopped by Ron's brothers Fred and George, but they are actually here to help. They give Harry something that they stole called the Marauder's Map, which is not explained at all in the movies, which reveals everyone's location out in Hogwarts, which will help him sneak around. Sneaking his way into the town through a secret passage, Harry ends up learning that Sirius Black is actually his godfather, and that he sold out his parents to Voldemort, as well as killing their friend Peter Pettigrew. Ron and Hermione end up finding Harry, who says that he's going to kill Sirius Black, which is kind of edgy for a 13-year-old, but I can't really blame him either. Later on, Harry is watching the map late at night, only to see Peter Pettigrew supposedly walking around the castle halls. After searching for him but getting caught by Snape, he's bailed out by Lupin. Harry tells Lupin what he saw, and Lupin replies that it's impossible. Very ominous indeed. Harry, Ron, and Hermione go to visit Hagrid to console him about the impending execution of Buckbeak, where Hagrid returns Scabbers to Ron, who had gone missing earlier in the year and was presumed dead. Seemingly out of nowhere, Harry is hit in the back of the head with a pebble, but when he turns around, he finds out that the executioner is on his way to kill Buckbeak, so they sneak out of there. Scabbers ends up biting Ron and runs away, prompting the trio to chase after him. But that's when the mysterious black dog from the beginning of the movie shows up, dragging Ron and Scabbers into a passage underneath another crazy whomping willow that leads to the Shrieking Shack. If you thought it was bad enough they had one of these crazy trees in the last movie, turns out they have several, and they are all bloodthirsty. Harry and Hermione make their way to Ron and learn that the dog is actually Sirius Black, who is an animagus. Before they can attack him, they are stopped by Lupin, who gives Black a big hug. Turns out they're actually best buds, and Lupin is a werewolf. Snape arrives too, but Harry attacks him. He needs to know why Black killed his parents. But the truth is, Black was never the villain. It was actually Scabbers? In an extremely disturbing plot twist when you actually think about it, it's revealed that Ron's family pet is actually Peter Pettigrew, aka Wormtail, who was the one who really sold out Harry's parents and framed Black. They revert him to his human form and take him to the castle to be arrested. As they head outside, it just so happens to be a full moon, causing Lupin to turn into a werewolf. Snape, who woke up, jumps in front of the trio to protect them, but Harry chases after Sirius, who chased after Lupin. This is actually a nice character moment for Snape because it shows that he isn't actually a bad guy like the past two movies would want you to believe. Harry ends up finding Sirius being attacked by a wave of Dementors, but fails to help him. As Harry falls unconscious, he sees a mysterious figure casting their own Patronum, and Harry thinks that it's his dad for some reason. I mean, they kind of explain it in the movie, but it's still just a silly thought. Waking up in the infirmary, Harry tells Dumbledore that Sirius Black is innocent, and while he believes him, he's still going to be taken to Azkaban, which is when Dumbledore gives a cryptic message to Hermione. As it would turn out, Hermione was given something called a time turner, which is a literal time travel device. That's right, the reason that she could go to so many classes is time travel. This is easily the silliest part of the movie, even if it does make sense with all the foreshadowing, and I'm glad that they never use it again. But anyway, Harry and Hermione head back in time and do a couple of things. Mainly, they prevent Buckbeak's death, and Harry is the one to use the Patronus on all the Dementors, saving his past self and Sirius Black. They then free Black, with him and Harry sharing a nice moment, but is forced to fly away with Buckbeak as he is still a wanted criminal. As the movie ends and their third year at Hogwarts comes to a close, Lupin resigns from his position, but not before giving Harry the Marauder's map back as a nice farewell gift, and Sirius sends Harry a new broom, a super fast one called Firebolt, which Harry uses to fly away into a hilarious freeze-frame finish. I think this movie has some really good cinematography. Not only do I find it more visually interesting than the previous two movies, they managed to do a lot of environmental storytelling as well. For example, constantly focusing on the clock tower helps foreshadow the use of time travel at the end of the movie. As far as visual effects go, I'd say that they're not bad. It's not noticeable like the first movie, so I guess the job was well done. Look, I'm no expert, I'm just saying I think it was good. The music, once again composed by John Williams, is just as good as ever, even managing to do some very different stuff compared to the previous two films. I really think the best thing that this movie did was hiring a new director. Not that I think Chris Columbus was bad at all, it's just having someone new come in brought new life to the franchise and kept things from becoming stale. In my opinion, he also made a lot of smart choices behind the scenes, like trying to actually map out Hogwarts so that the different rooms made sense in conjunction with one another, and having students wear their uniforms however they wanted to be more realistic, and other things that just added a level of realism to these over-the-top magical movies. This movie manages to elevate the quality of the previous two movies and tell an interesting mystery with great use of foreshadowing, making this great. In my opinion, it's a massive leap in quality and the right direction the franchise needed to head in to keep things interesting. I know that my plot summary may have sounded like it jumps around a bunch, but the movie actually flows very nicely. Well, those are my thoughts on Prisoner of Azkaban. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on this video, subscribe for more videos, turn on notifications to know when I post, and let me know in the comments what you thought of this movie if you've seen it. Next time, I'll be going over the fourth movie in the franchise, Goblet of Fire.